There have been a number of folks, rightfully so,
Yes.
requesting for an opportunity to be heard, to be seen on the convention stage, and tonight joining us to talk to us about this really significant movement around Palestine is Georgia State Representative Ruwa Romman. And we wanted to invite you on first to share a portion of your speech that you were going to share had you been given the opportunity to address the platform at the DNC. So we'd love for you to share that and talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, so the speech is actually very short. We were not very greedy in our ask. Unfortunately, that's just the way things go.
How much time did you ask for?
I mean, originally we asked for 5 minutes, and we got back and were told keep it down to 2. So we did. We tried to work in good faith. The whole point was to bridge the gap between what we were seeing between voters and the party. Yeah. We're not here to party poop on anyone's party. We really just wanted to be able to walk out of here. Again, we came with a policy ask, but we said maybe we can at least get a symbol. Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get that.
Well, I'm thankful for you to be here, and I have to say, when we were leaving last night and saw and heard the cries of the protesters, it really hit home. My dear friend Ta-Nehisi Coates wrote a wonderful piece in Vanity Fair. I hope everybody reads it. But we are honored to give you this platform tonight and would love to hear your speech.
Thank you. My name is Ruwa Romman, and I'm honored to be the first Palestinian elected to public office in the great state of Georgia, and the first Palestinian to ever speak at the Democratic National Convention. My story begins in a small village near Jerusalem called Suba, where my dad's family is from. My mom's roots trace back to Al-Khalil or Hebron. My parents, born in Jordan, brought us to Georgia when I was 8, where I now live with my wonderful husband and our sweet pets. Growing up, my grandfather and I shared a special bond. He was my partner in chief, whether it was sneaking me sweets from the bodega or slipping a 20 into my pocket with that familiar wink and a smile. He was my rock, but he passed away a few years ago, never seeing Suba or any part of Palestine again. Not a day goes by that I don't miss him. This past year has been especially hard as we've been Morrow witnesses to the massacres in Gaza. I've thought of him, wondering if this was the pain he knew too well. When we watched Palestinians displaced from one end of the Gaza Strip to the other, I wanted to ask him how he found the strength to walk all those miles decades ago and leave everything behind. But in this pain, I've also witnessed something profound. A beautiful, multi-faith, multi-racial, and multi-generational coalition rising from despair within our Democratic Party. For 320 days, we've stood together demanding to enforce our laws on friend and foe alike to reach a ceasefire, end the killing of Palestinians, free all the Israeli and Palestinian hostages, and to begin the difficult work of building a path to collective peace and safety. That is why we are here, members of this Democratic Party committed to equal rights and dignity for all. What we do here echoes around the world. They'll say that it's how it's always been, that nothing can change, but remember, Fannie Lou Hamer shunned for her courage, yet she paved the way for an integrated Democratic Party. Her legacy lives on, and it's her example we follow. But we can't do it alone. This historic moment is full of promise, but only if we stand together. Our party's greatest strength has always been our ability to unite. Some see that as a weakness, but it's time we flex that strength. Let's commit to each other to electing Vice President Harris and defeating Donald Trump, who uses my identity as a Palestinian as a slur. Let's fight for the policies long overdue, from restoring access to abortions to ensuring a living wage to demanding an end to reckless wars and a ceasefire in Gaza. And to those who doubt us, to the cynics and the naysayers, I say, yes, we can. Yes, we can be a Democratic Party that prioritizes funding our schools and hospitals, not for endless wars. That fights for an America that belongs to all of us, black, brown, and white, Jews and Palestinians, all of us, like my grandfather taught me, together.
That's beautiful.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. That's beautiful.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to just say, you already mentioned, and we've talked about it this week too, this historic occasion of this being the actual day that Fannie Lou Hamer said that she was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when Tiff and Andrew and I were talking earlier about making sure that we gave space for this really significant issue, she is the inspiration behind that. So we couldn't thank you enough. We're so grateful for your time tonight. We really are. It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
Beautiful.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And so,
I'm glad she said what she said in her
Yeah.
speech too, because that's something I've always been wondering. Like, what are the conversations like amongst people who are pro-Palestine in regards to if Trump gets back in office?
That's
but
right.
clearly, that's not an option for her.
Right.
It's
know?
not an option.
Absolutely.
It's really not an option. And, one of the things that we have to remember is even when we dissent, that is one of the most powerful things about a democracy. Disagreement is allowed. We have to ensure that people have that spaciousness to say their piece, and we have to figure out a way to find our humanity and tap into that.
Angela, I don't know if the convention vetted those remarks, but they typically do get the opportunity to read remarks of speakers that hit that podium.
Right.
But there was nothing irrational. There was nothing offensive. There was nothing stated in those remarks that I don't believe that any of those delegates assembled in that room right now would not have wholeheartedly agreed to. In fact, would have probably gone even further. I just got to say, we've got to treat our brothers and sisters from Palestine not like they are not as if they are an appendage of this party, but as if they run through the bloodstream of who we are. Their values are our values, and they deserve to have them spoken from the highest and most seen and most heard platform right now in this nation.